got excuses, but you got one life to live, one life to give, one moment, one opportunity. Boy, that's it, and it's all said and done. When the going gets tough and the tough gets going, you just go ahead and run. Cause opinions are like assholes, everybody has one. They're being constructive or they jealous of the outcome. It's not about the times you fail, it's about the times you got up. And I don't even care what the fuck your excuses is. Fact is, you just playing the cards of foolishness. What you think I'm dubious, you gotta get up, get going and just move on. Don't look towards the past, you gotta groove on. You procrastinating now, you gotta get that motivation. I already created a track called Inspiration. Gotta get up, get going and get fucking hype.
Fresh out of the rumble and into the jungle. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wrestling Talk Now. This, of course, is Thursday night, so that only means one thing. It is the rundown. I, of course, am not alone, here to bring you everything and anything wrestling entertainment-wise. A lot to get to, a lot of news. I digress. Let me first introduce to you the man of the hour, Kid Crazy.
How's it going, everybody? What a week it was. What a rumble it was. What a Rumble Bash event we had. It was great.
That was a good time.
There's a lot to get to here. Some Fallout. Then there was Raw. Some what we're expecting tomorrow from SmackDown. So let's get right to it.
Let's do that indeed. So, I don't know why we always tend to start off the show with the sad news, but I think it maybe might be good to also get it out of the way. So we have the unfortunate news to report that Lano Poffo, I might be pronouncing that name wrong. Lana Poffo has tragically passed away at the age of 68. Hacksaw Jim Duggan had posted it on his social medias, mentioning with a heavy heart he had announced the news of Lana Poffo passing away. For those of you who don't know who that is, that would be the Genius. He went by the Genius gimmick in the WWF. He was also is Randy Savage's brother, and he was the one that was took the received the award for Randy Savage back in the WWF WWE Hall of Fame in 2015, and of course did a bunch of stuff in the territory days with his brother Randy Savage, and also worked a little bit in WCW as well. I don't believe, as of going live, there is any reports of what went on or what is the cause of his death. However, that is just literally breaking news within the last 3 hours, and a bunch of condolences are being sent from a bunch of wrestlers. I saw one from Mick Foley just come up on my screen here, and I personally don't recall ever seeing Lana Poffo aside from the Hall of Fame ceremony, but I am a bit younger than most, and he was more of an 80s, early 90s superstar, so it would have been way beyond my years of watching. Kid Crazy, do you recall Lana Poffo?
I remember a lot of the Genius, especially the Genius. Obviously, I remember the Hall of Fame inductee ceremony that he did, inducting his brother. But I remember him as a kid when I was started off watching wrestling, with the Genius coming out with his guy. It wasn't a notepad, but it was kind of the scripture that he was kind of had, and it was kind of his gimmick. The intellectual, it was the Genius, so he would always give those intellectual promos. Back then, I had no clue that he was Macho Man's brother. Came on to find that out later on, and it's sad news to hear from the wrestling world. somebody that seemed like they were in good health. A few years ago, when not too long ago, when he was inducting his brother into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Right.
But he was definitely somebody that I remember from that time. Not many matches I remember, but definitely I remember promos and speaking on the mic and stuff like that. I definitely remember that. So he was one of the guys that could talk on the mic. He knew. He had the words. He could find that probably better than his brother in a certain way, because Macho Man was more of that gimmick, and
Right.
where the genius was more of like that intellectual, and he would try to get you on his gimmick, which was the genius, but it was kind of more of uh, how can I say this? It was trying to get into your mind and try to get your mind going, and that's what he did well. The genius. So rest in peace to him, Lenny Poffo.
That's it. And we, of course, will report once we get word of what happened. 68 years old. That is still very young. I am not certain at the moment if he did have any underlying conditions of anything like that. So we'll be sure to keep you posted there. So WWE's fourth quarter results came out of their revenue streams and all of that, and were released, of course, to the public. And it looks like nothing but wins for the WWE, despite of all the Vince drama and everything going on. They have a revenue of $325.3 million this year. Or I think that was technically in the fourth quarter of 2022, which would be an increase of 5%, and returned $8.9 million of capital shareholders through dividends. Crown Jewel was the most viewed international event in WWE's history. That could just
Wow.
be there's a lot of people there,
Yeah.
so that would affect it. Domestic unique viewership on Peacock increased 70% over the year, which is, that's always great. Peacock definitely got a lot more subscribers. Again, but now but Peacock's been around already for what, a good 2 years, 3 years, no?
No, maybe two. Yeah, about 2 years.
2. Yeah.
They
And
came in
each
after
W
the first pandemic, so the first lockdown. So around the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. Yeah, so 2 years.
Okay. So 2 years. And then each WWE domestic pay-per-view, such as Extreme Rules and Survivor Series, was the most viewed event in its history, with year-over-year increase of 36 and 46%, respectively, in domestic unique viewership. So pretty much just all around, just nothing but wins. They announced a multi-year extension to its partnership with MultiChoice to expand their distribution of the company's content to Saharan Africa in January of 2023. Yeah, and just nothing but wins here. And yeah, revenue increased 18% throughout the year of 2022. Operating income increased 11%. I don't know what the adjusted OBIDA, but that increased by 19 to 384 million, and returned $75.7 million of capital to the shareholders. So
That's pretty good for dividends coming out to shareholders. That's pretty good return here
makes
for
me
companies that give out dividends. Yeah,
ma-
maybe we should
makes
have bought some stocks.
I have only one stock, so it doesn't do much for me. But
One. Well, that's
one. No, I got like a 1 point, like I got like a fractional share, so like I'm at like
okay.
1.3 or something. But yeah,
But
definitely
that's
not getting
you're
anywhere
still a
near
shareholder
75
though.
mil. Yeah, so I didn't notice anything come in to the
You should have
dividends
got your
part,
vote
but
in to get Vince not to be able to come back into
well,
the board of
there's
directors.
another, and there is another lawsuit with that as well. Another week, another Vince lawsuit, basically stemming from the same thing, that Vince should not be as part of the board of directors, um, and that it was illegal what he did. So there's another lawsuit prying on that, of just basically the illegalities of how that all went down, where they pushed him into a corner by blackmailing them, so to speak. So yeah, there's that. I don't want to talk about Vince anymore, but I guess we'll kind of have to. Triple H did mention in a media call that having Vince around was good, because he has such great insight. I feel like it's just a very,
Diplomatic way to put it.
diplomatic way to put it. Like, what else are you going to say? Oh, no, Vince is freaking horrible. Like,
Yeah. But his wife did leave the company after Vince came back. So,
yeah. So,
what,
I don't know. Maybe he just wanted
he's
time
kind
away
of,
from Steph. I don't know.
or he's kind of stuck. What's the saying there? Between a rock
He's
and
between a rock and a hard place. Yeah.
that's it. So, yeah, that's basically
You know,
the position he's in. Trying to run a company creatively while you got all this drama administratively and in the backstage. I feel for Triple H in the middle of all this, and how his feelings, no matter what his feelings is or his opinions are on whatever's going on, he's still got to run this shit. So
right. That's
in
it.
between of all this, so I put all my thoughts and prayers into the hardships that he's going through right now, trying to deal with all this stress right now. So,
well, he's dealing with it, and he put on a very successful Royal Rumble, I would say.
yeah, some people are complaining about it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, successful as in I'm comparing it to last year. So,
Oh yeah, that's
not a,
yes,
not
that
a,
would be unanimous.
not much to
Right?
beat there. I don't know. I mean, it was decent. Just we didn't really get that Royal Rumble surprise factor. We got that.
Yeah,
We got that Logan Paul moment. Cool. That was awesome. Logan Paul did talk about that whole springboard moment there, and he also did have Cody Rhodes actually on his Impulsive podcast. So that
nice.
was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to listen to. He had thought that Lana Rhodes was his sister, but that's like a porn star.
Yes, like who? The porn star? Yeah, I saw that clip
star?
on.
He's like, the porn star? No.
No,
He's like, maybe we're related. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but listen, I got no complaints from Rumble. Yeah, maybe I do. Yeah, if I think about it, maybe I do. I do. Hardy was a complaint as the musical performance there. That was
people backstage didn't even
great.
like him. People backstage scoffed at the whole performance and whatever, and so guess we ain't seeing Hardy back.
No, I think that was when we were there at the Rumble Bash. I think that was the perfect moment for us to go smoke a cigarette. That's what I did. There, does it sound good? So okay, let's go smoke a cigarette.
Right.
Maybe. What else? I think everything else was pretty good. From the maybe the women's. Which way was it? Bianca versus Alexa Bliss wasn't maybe on top, or maybe as at the par where I was expecting it to be. We had no reveal there. There was no continuation to the story really there, so that was maybe a disappointment. But other than that, the Roman match, that was definitely came up to par and expectations there. The men's Royal Rumble definitely was. I really enjoyed it. Maybe it was because of the ambiance that was there with the Royal Rumble pool going on. So we're all excited. Everybody coming out. It was pretty good. But I enjoyed the way it was written out. I enjoyed the way it came out. It was cool to see when Brock Lesnar lost it after being there for only like not even 3 minutes. I really enjoyed that.
That is also a thing as well, actually. By the way, maybe close your camera and come back on, and maybe just check your settings too if you're on like a higher thing or something, because apparently on Twitch it's still showing you like weird.
Oh, okay. So
Just
let
close the
me.
camera. Don't necessarily go backstage, but just close the camera. Maybe check the settings just in case. Make sure you're on like 720 and not like 1080 or something. I don't know, because you're really.
I only have the option for 720. I'm on 720 right now.
Oh, okay.
So do I go down to 430? Let me try 430.
Just try 430 just in case.
It's on 430 right now.
It's on 430 right now. Okay, move a little. Still a little behind. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm not sure. Close the camera and come back. Just close the camera part there and just reappear and open it. Hey. Dun, dun, dun. Little technical difficulties. It happens. Oh, you did put it back? I didn't even see you put it back.
No. I'm saying, do I put it back on 720?
Oh, yeah. I mean, whatever. Try to keep it on 420 just in case. Voila. Yeah, no, I think you're still, you have not. Minor movement. Okay. Not sure. But everyone loves your voice anyway, so it's good. Oh, there you go. You're kind of moving. Okay, I think it might be better now. I think we're good.
Yeah, because I moved now, but we're still delayed. Maybe that's what the problem is. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi, maybe, but it seems like everything is good on my side. Maybe it's just the feed. It happens sometimes. My feed. Sorry, people.
That's fair. No worries. So, what was I saying? Yes. So apparently, the whole Brock Lesnar scenario, where Brock was throwing stuff and he threw the referee over. One, apparently, he wasn't supposed to do that. Throw that specific referee over. I don't know if he didn't know or, I don't think he was just supposed to do that because.
Well, it looked like he landed pretty hard there. The referee on the other side of that,
and that's it, because he was the referee that was supposed to go and lift Cody Rhodes's arm.
Oh,
but it didn't end up being him. It ended up being another guy. So. Yeah, and then the whole throwing the top of the announce table in the ring wasn't supposed to happen. So he got a little he got in a little bit of heat for that. Like, bro, what are you doing? But he's gonna get a slap on the wrist. If anything, nothing crazy there.
Carried away there.
Yeah, he just he overacted. Should go on soap operas and fit right in.
But everything, me, I enjoyed it. I have no complaints for Royal Rumble, other than the ones I've stated previously, which was the women's match, Bianca and Alexa, and the performance from the celebrity or singer, whatever, Hardy there. That was a bit weak. But other than that, man, it was a good. I was really into the Royal Rumble. Yes, it's true that, like you were saying before, we didn't get as much surprise elements in the Rumble, other than Booker T. Right, would be one.
Right.
That would be that we can
Booker
there,
T and Logan and. Was there anyone
Logan
else?
was a surprise, yes, but at the same time, he did sign a 3-year contract with WWE, so you would expect to see him once in a while, at least in these big pay-per-views. So I wasn't so surprised. Right. I thought maybe, okay, if you want to bring him back, you're gonna set up a match for him at WrestleMania, which I thought was the plan. To have him show up at Royal Rumble makes perfect sense, though, after you think about it, because you want him there. Sure. He could have those athletic performances, and that springboard smash into Ricochet was just perfect. We all popped there. We all
moment
popped
of
there
the night
at the community center there. It was great.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment of the night. For sure, for the men's Rumble, I find Kofi no longer gonna be doing his Kofi spots for the Rumble. He had missed again
2 years in a row. He messes it. Yeah,
he botched it there. So he kind of even mentioned it on Twitter. So looks like Kofi's spot botches are done with. Well, just those spots period are done with. I mean, it was cool, but at the end of the day, doesn't change anything. It's not like he's gonna win the Rumble, unfortunately. Maybe his time shall come soon. But yeah, no, I wasn't a fan of the pitch black match either.
Yes, that's
Um,
true. Okay, so the pitch match black, the pitch match, the oh my god, the pitch
pitch black,
black match, exactly.
right,
Mountain Dew. The match itself was weak, but what
right.
came after was good. So that's why
Yeah,
I kind of keep it out of the shitty moments
no,
because it
you
ended up
can't.
finishing okay.
Yeah, but that was the match. You're looking at the match here. You're not looking at what happened at thing.
I'm
Uh,
looking at the
I
advancement of the storyline. That's what I'm looking at.
That's fair. All right, that's fair. Yes, and it definitely did do that somewhat. At least we saw all of Bray's characters on top there, and then of course we saw Uncle Howdy fall and perhaps miss L.A. Knight because
Yeah,
that
that's what
was
they
the
say.
ongoing.
We didn't really
That's the beauty
see
of
it that
camera
he
angles, though.
missed. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the
The
beauty
from
of the
the other
camera angle.
camera angles, you probably catch it. Yeah, that's right. But I thought it was good. People were expecting a reveal, right? Was the Uncle Howdy reveal? What you got was an Uncle Howdy spot. That's basically what you
Right.
got. Jumping off the, we still don't know who he is. A lot of speculation out there, but yeah, I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed also finding out after that it was kind of a closure. Um, because he spoke after during this week, Bray, saying that basically you won't see the Hawaiian shirt version of Bray Wyatt no more, the Swamp, which we call the Swamp version, because
Hmm.
he thinks it's not not respectful. Not that he says it's not respectful, but that it's it won't be justified because of Brody's passing. So that
Right.
character is gone. Also, the Fiend, that he says that also the Fiend, you will see some closure soon, which you won't see that character ever again. The character we saw at the well, the character we didn't really see. I don't know if you think it's a different. There was a different character we saw. It was just Bray Wyatt with face paint during the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Um, but
I maybe
uh,
thought that was the Fiend with contacts on. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it was weird to me with was it just paint or did he have an actual mask?
no, it was face paint,
It
like
was face paint? Okay.
glow in the dark face paint. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Uh
that
I don't know.
with that podcast interview saying that he's kind of those two characters you won't be seeing again. But he didn't talk about all the rest, which are the White Rabbit, Mister Pig. So all these things might still have effect on the storyline they're telling right now. But at least we have some clarity on those parts. So you won't be seeing the Fiend, and you won't be seeing the Swamp version of Bray Wyatt. But there's still some story to tell there because we don't. I don't think that was the end. Definitely, was it the end of L.A. White with Bray Wyatt? Maybe, and
Uh, Most probably. I really hope LA Knight ends up joining them or something though. I think that would be uber cool, but I don't know if that's kind of in the plans. I don't know. I'm still interested, I guess. I'm always worried I'm gonna get bored of I'm just gonna get bored of what's going on here, but they still kind of keep me intrigued a tad. I guess Bray helped out with the interview, saying you guys don't even know the real
hmm
story of what's going on. Like you have no
yeah.
idea. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, intrigued me. You piqued my interest again. I'm all here for it. So it'll be curious to see what it ends up being. And I imagine at WrestleMania we'll get a crazier line.
Oh yeah, we'll
Uh,
definitely get a big development from WrestleMania from that storyline. Definitely.
Give me a second here. The manager of the Beverly Brothers and me, perfect. Oh, Mr. Perfect. His famous poems. Okay, I guess he was sorry. I was totally off with the
Yeah,
comments. I guess he was referring to the genius.
the genius. Yes, that's right. Yes,
Okay.
he was. He was at certain points. Yeah, that was the poems I was talking about. The list he would come out and he would say it was his poems. That's right. Big Red is
Oh, okay.
completely right
Whoop whoop.
here.
Um, with that, yeah. So that was kind of the only, just for me, the pitch black, the Rey Mysterio scenario there, for 17.
Yeah,
I
that
understand the
apparently
guy
was
was
more of
injured.
a because of more of actual legitimate injury for a Mysterio. That's what I heard.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So he apparently had gotten injured on SmackDown, but then you know what's going on. I don't know, like an hour before the Rumble, if he can go or not. Like, just put someone else in there. He's not going to end up winning anyways.
yeah.
But
You don't know what
you're
numbers
not,
coming out, anyways. You're right. Yeah.
and then you just don't know. This doesn't really help with the continuation of the Ray storyline. Oh, but I beat him up, and that's why he's not there. But how do you know he's ready to go? Come WrestleMania. Maybe it's not as
Hmm.
bad, and they figured that out, perhaps. But there was just kind of a waste. The initial
Yeah,
plan for that was for Ray to come out and then Dominic hit him right away, like as in the ring,
I
because he
think
was
that
going to
would
be
have been
number
better,
18. Well, yeah, well,
or
that's what they were going to
maybe
do.
have
But
him, or maybe have him come in and have somebody eliminate him. Because technically now, if you've been following, I guess the Twitter world of WWE and wrestling, is
mm,
because Cody jumped over the top rope when he left the ring after winning the Royal Rumble. So technically, Rey Mysterio is your
the
Royal
winner.
Rumble official winner.
Yep. Well, yes and no. He didn't technically enter the ring, so
That's it.
he
That's
is
where
technically
it
not
comes
part
in.
of the
That
match.
exactly. He never actually entered the Royal Rumble, so he couldn't have been. He couldn't have won it if he never actually entered it. But it was funny when I saw that because yes, Cody did jump over the top rope to get out of the ring after winning the Rumble. So like shit, I heard some people like there were some Twitch streams that were doing watch-alongs, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing? Don't jump over! Ah, you just lost the Rumble," because they were. I actually remember that the other one had never actually entered or had never been eliminated. That's where they were saying, but actually he had never
Right.
entered. So so my friend that lost the pool, he was I sent him the meme. I'm like, well, you actually won. Yeah. he was he was laughing.
Yeah, that's
He was
it.
like,
Because one of your friends had got number 17. He's like, what
yeah,
happened? What happened to my pick?
yeah. It's like, hey,
I know.
you know what's going on? I don't get one of my picks is not even he's not there. Like somebody's
Right.
gonna come out, and as long as Dominic was still inside the Rumble, we're like, okay, there's a story to tell here. He's gonna come
Right.
back. He's gonna eliminate Dominic. But no,
Right.
actually, we end up finding out that no, he was injured in SmackDown, and he wasn't there. They just tried to fit him in to the storyline, which was Dominic was the next entrant. Came out with his mask. He's trying to rip his mask. He couldn't rip his mask. Uh,
Right.
so they fit it into the storyline that way. But yeah, we got what we expected, I guess, with Cody winning the Rumble. We didn't get what we expected in the way that thinking he was going to be the first entrant. He was the last entrant,
Right.
but we got the new record-breaking longest person in a Rumble, even surpassing Rey Mysterio, that was in a 40-man Royal Rumble that he had the record.
Right.
This is Gunther,
Gunda!
the Ring General. Great
Yeah.
Royal Rumble from Gunther here. Don't you agree?
And the guy has amazing stamina on top of that. This guy could still go. Like, dude, when he
Yeah.
was first of all, I didn't think he was going to make it to the final two. And then he did. And I'm like, holy shit, let's go, Gunther. But he looked like he could go another 30 minutes, man. He looked
Oh
ready.
yeah.
And
He looked
I
fresh.
was. He looked good. That was a phenomenal performance done
I
by
was more
Gunther.
scared for Rhodes Cody's pec than I was for
Right.
Gunter's stamina. Like, whoa, these
No,
chops
yeah.
are coming in hard.
Jesus. Yeah, and I'm like, bro, you just got surgery there. You just got
Yeah.
surgery. Be careful. Be careful. But no, Cody was good. He apparently had only just got um, announced. I think it was that day, right?
Yeah, for a medical clearance. Yeah.
Medical clearance to actually be part of the Rumble. So pretty ballsy on their part. And pretty crazy that it was the day of, and thank God. What else? What would you have done? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I I don't know why you announced it though. If that was your ultimate goal, you should have just kept it a secret. Just completely a secret. It would have just added a little bit more effect to Cody winning the Rumble. I think a bit more. Him coming out as 30 would have made sense.
Yeah.
In this case, like, who came out the 29th? The 29th, I think, was, I don't remember, but I'm going to say like, nope, not remembering. Anyways, the 29th was that. I'm like, oh, okay, then it's gonna be Cody for the 30th. Like we already know what's up.
Yeah.
He's in the
Yes.
Rumble.
Because he had
So
announced it already. Yeah.
just the whole point of the Rumble is for us not to know. So it just ruined that 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 excitement we have. Oh, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Like we know. So you done messed up. Like we know it's Cody. Cool. It was still cool to see him. Um, there is more. There is. What's this thing say? There is more than one royal family.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean? Like,
that's where the WrestleMania match comes in value here is that's
mhm.
where it all came from. Now he keeps on Cody keeps on posting it on Twitter and he talked about it on Raw in his promo, which is wrestling doesn't only have one royal family. So I guess they're pushing that for WrestleMania, um, which is Rhodes versus Reigns.
Right.
So it leaves a big blur for what's happening at the Elimination Chamber here. So, and
Well, but
what's
he
happening
also
with the
does
Sami Zayn.
mention. He also does mention potentially, I will face you for uh,
Yeah,
both belts at WrestleMania, whether it's for both or one. That yada, like I am paraphrasing here, but he left it up for discussion, right? Because you still have another pay per view, so he wasn't like I'm gonna face you at WrestleMania, Roman.
no, yeah,
And then he's like, I might face you for either one or two, and all that. So pretty interesting to see there. And there has been much rumors of maybe they'll split the titles before Mania. Maybe Roman will go to two nights and defend one title each night, and one goes to Raw, one goes to SmackDown. Who knows?
that would
So
mean having
great promo
Roman
though.
losing twice in the same night. Ooh.
Or different nights technically.
Well,
It's
yes,
going to
that's
be
right.
two
On the
nights,
same
right?
event, that's what I meant. Right, that's right.
Same event, or it could be like a triple threat. 2 out of 3 falls. First fall is for one title. Second fall is for the other.
No,
They can maybe do that too. They have many
that's
ways
never
still
been
to
done.
go.
So possible.
Yeah. So they definitely certainly have a lot of ways to go there. And I think that was kind of it for the break-in. We did our Rumble breakdown. Match of the night, I would probably go with I think I might have enjoyed the women's Rumble actually the best. So I'm probably going to go with the women's Rumble for match of the night for me.
I definitely enjoyed Rhea winning the women's Rumble, but
Right.
if I have to go with a match itself, I would go with the Rumble. But with the if you the men's Rumble, but if you include
Mhm.
all the story behind and the continuation to the storyline and how I was entertained, I guess I would have to go with the main event.
Oh,
I guess
Roman Sammy.
they chose that main event for a reason. We were all surprised before the show started. We're like, oh, they're going with the Sammy Roman with the Roman Kevin Owens main event. We're like all surprised, but it was for a
Right.
reason because they had a story to tell there, and they told it perfectly.
They absolutely told it perfectly, and I do agree for having for the best story being told to continue the storyline for sure. It's the KO Roman Sammy bloodline fiasco. That was all well done. Even the match itself was
Hmm.
fantastic. Post match stuff was great as well. Jey Uso
Yep.
leaving the ring. He's
That was the
done. Doesn't want
unexpected part,
part of
really
it.
unexpected part of it.
Especially it
Jey
being Jay
Uso.
and not
Yeah.
necessarily Jimmy. 'Cause Jimmy was always day one with Sammy, had their own little special handshake and all
Hmm.
that. But it was ultimately Jay who decided. Now, this, if they, I imagine there's some sort of the long-term story telling here, but I don't know if that's what they initially had planned. But if we go back to when the bloodline had started, Jay was always the one who essentially was skeptical
Yeah.
of
He's the one that
Roman
didn't
and
want
all
to
that.
acknowledge Roman, right? They had
Right.
matches about this.
Yeah, that's it. And they had the Hell in the Cell match and all that. And then, so it was just always telling the story of Jay being the skeptical one, and him always
Hmm.
having some element of skepticism towards whatever he gets involved into or whatever he does, and he ultimately needs to really trust you first and for you to prove yourself. That and this worked phenomenally with all of that, and that when I was thinking like, why Jay then? And then I'm like, oh, but this all makes sense then. The dude was skeptical, so for him to actually trust you, it's a big deal. And then so
Yeah.
he was just completely hurt by it, and he was fooled as well. Or maybe he perhaps also realized, like, man, I was right about Roman all along. So great
Yeah.
storytelling there. If it in fact, you know, that was their initial intention. Of course, we don't know between Vince and Trips parting ways with creative. Essentially, I think Sammy was only really involved once Trips got involved. So might have been a whole other story to tell.
Yeah, it really got really deep when Trips took over. Really, this Sami Zayn inside the bloodline story. But do you see, with all this coming out now and with things, the smoke clearing a bit here? Do you see maybe a potential Sami and KO versus the Usos for and taking those tag team championships instead of the world championships? I think
I
that's
don't
a
know. I
possibility.
think, I guess, I just don't like it for anybody involved. I don't like it for Sammy and KO. I think they deserve more. Um, I would love to see them as tag team champions, but then I also think that does an injustice towards the tag teams that we do have. Will
Hmm.
their titles
Yeah.
be split then, perhaps?
Well, they should
Maybe
be if
that could
that's the
be a
case.
thing if that's the case, but they're also one's on Raw and one's generally on SmackDown. So how do you do
That's
that?
true. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true. Also.
Um, so I think it would kind of do it an injustice for the tag titles. I think it would be a fun run, and I'm more than down to see that. I just don't know if it's WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania, you still kind of keep them around. Heck, it could even be Sammy KO versus Roman for one of the titles or something. And then whoever wins that Raw or SmackDown title. And then Cody faces you for the other one, kind of thing. Maybe. I don't know.
You say for WrestleMania?
Maybe for WrestleMania, you have like Roman in a triple threat one night, and then whoever wins that one wins one of the titles, and then Cody wins whichever title is
The next day.
left. So ultimately, the breakdown of the entire bloodline.
Well, yeah, that we're definitely going to see because now we're going to see. That's I think the storyline that's being told in the long run, especially when it comes to Cody Rhodes, is basically the breakdown of the bloodline, which that leaves Roman vulnerable for Cody to win that title.
Right.
He doesn't have his clique behind him to back him up and to protect him. So I think that's the storyline they're telling. But I'm just interested where they're going to go with Sammy and KO because they're important pieces to this, and I think they deserve to have that top of the card place. And we never seen really. We've heard of Al Generico and Kevin Steen with their crazy tag team run as a tag team championship team in ROH, in
Right.
PWG. Can they duplicate that in WWE? I'm sure they can. But
Mhm.
yes, I know that. Yeah, okay, they're a bit more towards the title picture than they are towards like a more of a mid card. But I think they could go on a crazy run if they beat the Usos and they go on a crazy run. I think they can put together some crazy matches, and it would be a top tag team probably in the last 10 years, guaranteed in WWE.
Yeah, and I mean, I do agree with that. I just, what do you do with the other
You
tag
think
teams?
they deserve more? Yes, that's what you believe. That's it. And I
You
believe
know,
that too.
just
Not to get that wrong, but I think they understand that they can't always be at the top, right? So
right.
this is a business. So you got to find your place. And when you see that they're not gonna give us the top spot here with the titles. So
Right.
maybe we could steal the show as the tag team champions, and I think they'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down to see Kevin and KO, Sammy and KO in any form or fashion, whether they're against each other or tag teaming. They just have such great chemistry, so I'm down
Mhm.
with it. I just don't see it happening necessarily at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. But overall, over and all, I think it was a good Royal Rumble. I think it advanced the storylines it needed to advance, um, and matches involved were okay, except like you said, the pitch black Mountain Dew match. But
Right.
at least it advanced the storyline for what happened after. We'll get to see tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a lot of shit to to learn about with this
Yeah.
this whole Bray Wyatt thing and with this whole
Right.
Sammy and the Bloodline thing. So tomorrow I think could be a big SmackDown.
And I don't even think we saw anything with Bliss. So, if I'm not mistaken, so maybe we'll get also a Bliss thing happen on SmackDown because we did see Howdy tell her that you think you're in control or something like that at the Rumble
That's
after
right.
their match.
Yes.
So
Yep. That's right.
maybe we'll finally see the resolution to that at
Yeah,
On
because
SmackDown.
we didn't see her on Raw this week. So yeah, it's very a strong possibility that all this comes together tomorrow on SmackDown. Um, yeah, so that was Royal Rumble.
Hmm.
Um, then we had on Raw opening up with Cody. Cody with a pretty good promo.
Yeah,
A typical Cody promo here. Um, Good. Always mentioning
with
the
less
same bullet
crying,
points.
maybe with the less
Yeah, a
stuff.
bit less
I
crying,
feel like it was
but
a
the
little less
same.
crying. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit less crying, but the same bullet points saying what he needs to prove, and now he's getting closer and closer to his goal. But it was a good promo. Maybe um, I say a bit too long. Then he has a tendency to a bit not get to the point where he wants to that he wants to show, and then
Right.
starts going off into the hyperbolic points there that everybody's heard all the time many times. So okay, yes, but and I think there might be a danger there for him. He might lose because now organically Sammy is so over and people are wanting to see Sammy beat beat Roman, but they see that they're pushing towards Cody versus Roman, and I'm scared that they might turn on Cody for this, and that might hurt his whole conquest, his whole babyface journey of becoming world champion.
I don't think so. Because you're not necessarily putting Cody down our necks, so to speak. You kind of are, but you're also Cody is still technically an underdog, right? So Sammy really has. There was that whole meme that came out that someone put. Sammy was Daniel Bryan, and Cody was.
With
I think they mentioned
Batista,
like was Batista or
hmm
something. Um, I still think the fans would like either or. I think it's still an underdog scenario where yes, WWE's making them out, Cody to just the whole story of the Rhodes family. That was the only title that, and then the whole rumor about him maybe bringing the Eagle belt back. What,
Yeah, that he
dude?
even posted the Eagle belt on his Twitter feed.
Yeah, the fans would just eat that up like hardcore. So I don't think there's going to be enough heat there for it to be a backlash.
Hmm.
Just because they both have their own underdog story.
Yeah.
Sammy's underdog story is a little bit more
Okay, so
unbelievable.
let me put it this way then. Let me put it this way. Who becomes a bigger star after beating Roman Reigns? Sami Zayn or Cody Rhodes?
I would say maybe Sami Zayn.
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
just
I
don't
don't know.
see
I
that
really don't know.
happening. Well, I would say Sami Zayn because I don't think he becomes, like Sammy even mentioned himself, he's not the face
The
of the
face of the
company,
company.
right?
Exactly.
So I don't see him necessarily
Where
being the
Cody can
face of the
definitely be the
company.
face of the company.
Cody has everything going for him. He looks the part. He wrestles. You know what I mean? Cody can definitely be the face of the company, which is funny considering what 7 years ago he was Stardust. So,
Yeah.
um, but Cody could definitely be the face of the company. I but bigger star, I think it would have to go to Sammy because I think at this point everyone kind of believes that Cody can be the face of the company. He was a face of a company already for
Yep.
3 years, so there is more believability there. So I think Sammy would have a lot more to gain by getting the title than Cody per se.
Yeah, okay. That sounds fair. I think definitely who can carry that belt better is definitely Cody. No doubt
For
about
sure.
that. Um but definitely who can be the biggest pop when they do win, I think Sammy can get that bigger pop.
Yeah.
But
Sammy,
uh
that meme had it right where Sammy is the Daniel Bryan.
yeah,
You
in
know what I mean?
in
Maybe
that,
not as good as a wrestler as Daniel Bryan there, but Sammy is the Daniel Bryan where the
yeah,
fans just
there's
absolutely love him and are over
are backing him.
above and beyond and are backing him completely. So
Yeah,
Sammy definitely has that for sure.
I
But
agree.
I don't
I
think it's going to
I
give
agree.
either one
Sammy,
heat.
it's you mean well, Sammy, if Sammy wins, it'll definitely not give him heat. But I'm just scared that if Cody wins and people are really, well, it won't, because you can't always please everybody, right? This is a
Oh yeah,
big
well
this is
that's
a
it.
big fan base, so you
But I
can't always
don't see
please
Cody
anybody.
losing. At the end of the day, man, what if he wins at Elimination Chamber and he wins the SmackDown Championship?
That's it. Then you
Dude,
have Sammy
that
versus
photo
Cody.
op, no, you still have Roman versus Cody because Cody's a Raw superstar. So that
Oh, okay.
still
So they
goes
have
on.
to. Okay. So what you're saying is basically we're giving Sammy a shot, but only at the Universal title, not at the WWE title.
Whatever, the SmackDown title.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
know.
yes,
I
yes.
fucking hate all these
No,
words, the
because
Universal and the WWE.
well, because
Like,
the Universal
it's
is the
like,
blue one, which is right now it's the blue one, and the
okay.
WWE title is the Raw one, basically. But it all fits in the story of Cody bringing back the Eagle belt, because then
Right.
that would be the WWE championship belt, which is the one that would technically that Sammy wouldn't win if he were to win at the Elimination Chamber, which he would win the SmackDown belt, which is the Universal title.
Right. So yeah, and that could work completely. And heck, man, you can even do Sammy versus KO. You know what I mean? That
Then
can
after at
be
WrestleMania, yeah,
at
of
WrestleMania.
course,
Like
for a
Jesus,
title. Oh my
who
God, that
who
would be
wouldn't
such a
want to see that?
culmination.
Dude, they have such great chemistry, and Kevin Owens is known to always backstab his friends, right? Like that's a thing. They did it in NXT. He did it to Chris Jericho. Like this is his MO. You know what I mean? This is what he does. So,
Even after Sammy protecting him
right?
from his bloodline, yeah,
Dude, like what
yeah,
better heel can KO be now after everything that Sammy has done and sacrificed? Now KO is pissed because you also used me to get to the championship. I cannot wait for
yeah.
SmackDown.
You
Dude, this whole storyline is just Storyline of the year. I'm fucking saying it
Oh
now.
yeah, no
We
doubt,
are
no
now
doubt,
in
no doubt,
February.
no doubt.
Fuck,
And this goes
man.
back to
So well
before,
written.
so this is I guess it could be considered storyline of 2022, and going into
Yeah.
2023, it's still the top storyline here, and it could only
Oh,
continue with, like you just said. I think it would be a perfect Sammy. Sammy turns on the bloodline because he wants to protect his friend from getting the beating of his life.
right.
But then after, so he gets in that, because he turned on his friends, on his bloodline. He gets a title shot, ends up winning, and Kevin O just fucking loses it. How the fuck can you, after protecting me, they give you a title and you win the title, and then he turns on Sammy? That would be some perfect storytelling, and it just everything, all the pieces would fall into place. So
And
it makes
he
perfect
also
sense.
does it in Montreal on top of
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
but he can't. I don't think you can, I guess, because
No, no, I
I
think he
think there has
definitely
to be a
can.
segment. But I think there has to be a segment. There has to be like a congratulatory segment for the next
Well, I
week on
think that's why it makes
SmackDown.
sense. Sammy beats Roman at Elimination Chamber. KO, or
Right.
maybe even because, even maybe because KO interfered and helped Sammy win. Comes to the ring, KO lifts Sammy's arm up. They have the big hug in Montreal. Bang, 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 and then he just turns them
Ole,
around and he gives them the
ole,
stunner.
ole, ole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then he gives them the stunner, and then everybody's shocked. Everybody's shocked,
That would
and
also
then
be a
that
good photo op
cre-
too to end
oh yeah,
Elimination Chamber.
and
Yeah.
he creates that heat. He creates that heel heat by turning on his brother Sammy, and Sammy creates all that sympathy from winning the title, but being turned on by his best friend. Well, now you got storytelling here.
Oh man. Let's go. That's right
That's
up there.
pretty
That sounds awesome.
pretty
Wow.
great there. Go
Come
ahead.
on, SmackDown. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
We're
Fuck.
exactly 24 hours away from SmackDown, so countdown starts absolutely now.
Jesus,
So
it's 8
yeah,
o'clock
so
already. Not
what?
exactly. Not 8 hours.
Oh,
Not
28,
24
28.
hours.
I guess
We're
28,
20,
28.
yeah. 24
So
hours and 20 minutes. We got to call a spade here.
yes. Okay. If we're
Raw
going
starts
to
at
be
8.
specific.
So
Yes,
we got
we're
to
going
be
to be specific
specific here. All right.
here. All right. We'll try. We'll try our hardest here.
Specificity is everything.
Yes, it is. So yeah. So
Um,
Cody comes out on Raw. So and basically does the very good promo. Talks about
yeah.
him coming up as he even talks about the dashing Cody Rhodes, saying I
Right.
had to come out there. Then he mentions Barry. He doesn't mention Stardust in name, but he mentions a bit of face paint in his promo. He mentions a bit of his character with face paint. I'm paraphrasing here, and he
Right.
kind of builds it up to where he is at now. So I think it was a pretty good promo, building up his name, and it's a good continuation to where we've seen the video package in the last few weeks. Also with the reconstruction of Cody Rhodes, or not the reconstruction, the rehabilitation of Cody Rhodes,
Mhm.
and this fits in perfectly in that. So where he's going, I enjoyed that quite a bit. What I was surprised was what Judgment Day coming out
Right.
and confronting Cody here,
Uh,
and that was pretty interesting.
Pretty interesting. And we all thought it was maybe going to be Dominic Mysterio who was going to fight him, because Dominic was talking smack about Dusty en plus on top of that.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I'm down to see Dominic get his ass kicked by Cody. Let's go. But no, we get the feud of the Bullet Club, as we find out it's going to be Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes later on tonight.
Yep, it was, and then we saw backstage promo, I guess, or segment where they were choosing, the Judgment Day was choosing who they were going to go against, and that's when Finn announced that it was going to be him. That he stole that. He mentioned that Cody stole a few things from him, which was not his gimmick, but his
He said
sign.
this. He said,
Yeah,
yeah, he's like,
that's
it's
it.
this, and then it's this. He also does the gun
Yeah.
thing too, which is
Yes.
what Cody also did at the Rumble, right? In homage to the Young Bucks and the Elite. So
Yes. Yes. It's true.
they
Yep.
also they also Young Bucks had also mentioned that as well, just with an emoji of this and then
Mm.
a gun. So pretty
That was
cool.
cool. That was cool that he did that.
Uh,
I forgot to mention that. That was cool. That was a good respects that
yeah,
he
so
was
there's
paying
no
there to
actual
give his.
animosity there between. I guess there's no animosity there between everybody. Maybe
No.
just him and Tony, perhaps, but everyone else, it looks like they're fine. It seemed
Yep.
because we had reported that it was more of
The
Cody,
EVP's
maybe
brawling there.
the EVP. Yeah, exactly. The EVP's brawling, but maybe it's just more so that Cody maybe wanted them to do more. Like, hey guys, do it. You know what I mean? Like, this is more your thing. I kind of want to just maybe focus more on the wrestling side. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's ultimately what ended up happening though, right? Now what you went to WWE as just a legit wrestler. So the dude absolutely loves wrestling. So
Yeah.
completely understandable why he'd want to dedicate his whole time to being that.
Yep. Was perfectly done. I really enjoyed that. Uh, then we got because then it transitioned basically right away to the match, the first match of the night, which was an elimination chamber qualifying match between Seth
Right.
and Chad Gable, and
So, by the way,
uh,
Elimination Chamber match for the
that's it.
U.S.
That's what they announced
Championship.
exactly. So go
Yeah.
ahead, explain that how it is.
Yeah. So basically, what? Explain how the Elimination Chamber for the U.S.
Yeah,
Championship's
well,
gonna
so
work.
basically they're going for the
So it
USA
was
title.
announced.
Yeah,
That's it. So it was announced. I believe it was by Byron. I want to say. It was announced on Twitter that it was good. There was going to be qualifying matches going for the U.S. Championship, and that there would also be a women's elimination chamber match going for the women's title. I believe it was for the Raw women's title, though.
yeah, the Bianca side. Yeah.
And essentially, so you had two matches on Raw for the qualifier. You had Chad Gable versus Seth Rollins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep,
Uh,
that's right.
yeah, I know it's right. But man, you
Oh,
got to give Chad Gable the world. You really
oh yeah,
have to give this guy the world. He is such a phenomenal worker. He is great on the mic. Sure, maybe he's a tad short, but you've made Adam Cole do a lot. And look how he is. I think he might be shorter than Adam Cole, though. But yeah, just what a phenomenal match, phenomenal worker. Dare I say, maybe match of the night for Raw. Um,
uh,
just
it's a strong.
you
It
know,
makes a strong case for match of the night, guaranteed.
guaranteed. And it was just a lot of back and forth. But of course, he ain't gonna beat the the architect Seth Rollins.
No, no.
But no, it was a really fun match. Really great way to start the match of the show, the first match of the show. So, yeah, great, fantastic match. And give me more of that. Give me Gable versus Ziggler or something too. Like, come on now,
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think that would be a perfect fit. I think Gable got in more offense than was expected, and
Right.
so it made it more interesting. I love how Rollins can look down, and you think he's out, but he always comes out on top. And I love this new thing that he does, where he finds a new way to always reverse a move into the pedigree. It's
Yeah, because this one it
so
was the German suplex, right?
yeah.
If I'm not
So
mistaken.
big until he found himself being spiked with the pedigree. Yes, exactly. So basically, that's how it ended. There was basically the finish. So it was
Like just wild. Just
yeah. It
wild. How do
was
you and then boom, like, oh fuck, I gotta rewatch that
yep,
match. That match was fun. Yeah.
yep. It was very good match. But obviously, we knew that Rollins was going to be the
Yeah.
continuation. Rollins has had a lot of chances at this USA title.
He really has. Oh, same thing with
So
Lashley, you know what I mean? And like
yep,
it was really Austin Theory, Lashley, and Rollins who were just kind of always going after it for what the past 6 months, maybe, if not a little bit longer. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't. and it's usually we'd be tired of it, but I mean, with Austin Theory's gimmick change, that kind of gave it a new fresh coat of paint there. But also Rollins, like you just can't get tired of the guy. I just don't
Nope.
know. Like I guess he has no say in the title picture, but I still think that whole Roman never beat me storyline could really work.
Yeah, there's a story to
Going
tell there. Yeah, definitely.
uh, so after that, what ended up?
We had Candice LeRae versus Io Sky, which was obviously Candice LeRae wasn't going to come on top here, but
Right.
um, but it was
Well, I
a
remember
very good
Bailey
match.
interrupting all the time as well. So
Yep. There are obviously a lot of shenanigans because Bailey was at the ringside,
Mm,
and definitely the shenanigans and the distractions helped Sky win. But I think it was a very good back and forth match. Um, Candice LeRae is a very good worker here, and she's been a good soldier recently because she's taken a lot of L's recently, but always there and always comes out with these performances. And I know we've seen Io Sky and Candice LeRae back in NXT in some great matches, and
right.
this might not be as good as some of the top matches we've seen in NXT between them, but it was still a very
Right.
good match that I would definitely give a three, maybe maybe not 3.5, but three, definitely 3 on 5. And
Okay.
it was it told the story okay, but it was a good match that maybe in the feud later on when they move away from always having the same four horsewomen being at the top of the divisions here. Maybe they can look into Io Sky and a Candice LeRae. Maybe in Io Sky as being a pure champion, but maybe as a Candice LeRae to make Io Sky look greater,
Right.
like and have a good rivalry. I think that would be good for Io Sky because I think Io Sky is definitely championship material. Um, and Candice LeRae maybe in the future, but for now she can definitely enhance. Other talent, and I think she showed it here in this match, definitely against the Io Sky, with what's her name, Mission
Uh,
Mia Yim.
was it Mia Yim that came out? I thought it was someone else.
Yeah,
It was Mia
she's the one
Yim.
that
That's
accompanied
it.
Candice LeRae. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was interesting. Moving on, then we had Corbin versus Johnny Gargano, which was a better match than I expected, and with some good spots from Johnny Gargano here, also known as Johnny Wrestling.
Right. Yeah. No. And this was also in a qualifier match as well, right? Or no?
Was it? Let me go check my notes.
I don't think it was actually.
No. Oh, yes. This next match was another qualifier for the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Yes. So it
Yeah.
was for the U.S.
So
For the Elimination Chamber spot for the U.S. title at Elimination Chamber. That's right.
nice. Yeah, and it was a decent match. I'm it's funny. I have a love-hate relationship with Corbin. Like I really like the guy's gimmick, and sometimes I really hate his matches, and other times I'm like, oh yeah, this guy is really good. So this was one of those times where this guy was really good. You also had a little Loomis participation there with
Yep. He was at
interrupting
ringside.
JBL. Yeah, so it was a fun match. Gargano, I think, ended up winning with the super kick. I want to say.
Yeah, it was above the ring by count. Oh yeah, he countered the end of days into an inside cradle. That's what it was.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, fair.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, decent match. Probably worst match of the night, but that's not saying bad
because
because
yes, because
a lot of great wrestling on Monday.
yeah, the few matches we had were good. So there was a
Mhm.
lot of storyline advancement in this Raw, for which is for a 3 hour show. Usually you would be disappointed, but they had a lot of shit to tell, especially and to advance as after the Rumble. So, and we had a few returns, which is the perfect segue to the VIP lounge with the Miz and the return of Rick Boogs.
Rick
Boogs.
Boogs. Yeah, no, and he looks jacked.
Yeah, he does look
Like
much bigger than he was. Yep.
much bigger than he was. He's back to his NXT gimmick. It looks like with his air guitar, not legitimate guitar.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um, so yeah, and yeah, I believe he ended up facing the Miz on top of that, right?
Yep, it was a match versus the Miz in his suit, right? The Miz was had to keep his suit. Adam Pierce called it, and he's like, "I'm still in the suit." He's like, "Ah, but aren't you supposed to say you're the awesome one? So you should be good." And that's what it was. um, but I guess the segment really, the goal was keep on the Theory and Lashley feud going, because then we had um wait, I might be mixing up my notes here. No, that's right. Um no, then the Miz came in,
Yeah,
so
you are,
that's
because
it.
I don't
Yeah.
think the Miz. Yeah, but I don't think the Miz
No, no.
wrestled in just his suit. I think the Miz went to go actually change up, because the whole Miz in the suit.
No, I pretty much remember him fighting in a suit. The A-lister complained about being in a suit and not being prepared to wrestle, but WWE official
Oh,
Adam
there you
Pierce
go.
made him work anyway. That's it.
Oh,
So
that's
Boogs
it.
was
Okay, fair. I
so
think I was thinking of the Austin Theory Lashley scenario too, though.
no,
Is
that was
maybe
because
what
right,
I was
it
thinking
was
of.
because where I'm mistaken was the MVP lounge was with Austin Theory and not with the Miz. That's
Oh, yeah,
where
you done fucked me up. Okay, yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Where the crowd booed
Oh,
Austin Theory, and then
right,
eventually that's Bobby Lashley eventually showed up, but Theory was able to avoid the spear. Oh, that's when Theory pushed
MVP
MVP into the spear. That's
into
right. That's
Lashley's
right.
way. Yeah,
That's right. So they're trying to now cause a friction between MVP and Bobby Lashley. Maybe that's going to hinder a bit the chances of the Hurt Business coming back together. But I guess that's another story they're telling there with MVP and
right.
Bobby now.
Yep, that's it. So, and with the whole rumors of her business 2.0 potentially having maybe the Street Profits,
Yep.
and not necessarily Cedric and Shelton, I am all down for. But yeah, we shall see. Street Profits have been nowhere near that segment at all. So maybe that is just a pure rumor. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens there.
Yep. That was then we had Bronson Reed, fresh off I think his first full blown match on Raw with Dolph Ziggler here, and which was surprisingly not the best match I've seen from either, but a better match than I thought. Maybe my expectations were low, and that's why it was a better match than I expected.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Because my
it was
expectations were low as well, and I thought it was a
but
decent match.
when it was close, some close pins. Um, Dolph can always backs it up in the ring, and I really like Dolph as a worker and as a loyal employee of WWE, because he had
Right,
probably many chances to leave the company and he decided to stay and be kind of stuck in between the mid card and the picture and the world picture title card.
right.
But he always puts on good matches, so I really like to really talk about Dolph Ziggler. Um, and this was also an elimination chamber qualifying match, right? Because that's again what's his face Mustafa Ali is complaining about. Also, that's a sidebar to this rivalry, is that he's always complaining about Dolph getting all the chances. We saw that
Right.
backstage also.
No, yeah, that was a nice little thing that he did. He was acting like he was an interviewer kind of thing, and he was all pissed
Yeah,
off. Yeah, I
yeah,
liked it.
yeah,
I hope they end up using that really well, because he's Mustafa Ali is really coming into his cocky character now, and all
yep.
that. So I'm down for
Hopefully,
it, because
hopefully
Mustafa
this
Ali is
could
phenomenal.
this. Yep, I totally agree, and I think the right person to work with him would be a Dolph Ziggler, and I think
Oh,
this
for sure.
I would really hope this culminates in a pay per view kind of feud, not a something that you get just a one off match on Raw or something. I
Right.
think they deserve a little story to tell, and I think that's where they're going here
Hmm.
with Mustafa being pissed of always Dolph getting all the chances and Dolph getting all these chances, but always coming up short. So I think there's a story to tell here, and I really wish it culminates into a great match at a pay per view between Dolph and Mustafa, because I definitely think they could steal the show in that type of scenario there.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that. Give me that at WrestleMania. I would even be down. You know what I
Yep,
mean? Like
yep,
you're already kind of
yep,
building towards that.
yep.
Yeah, I'd be uber down with that. Stuff Ali
Because
versus
in
Ziggler in the ladder match. Let's go. You know?
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, I would definitely be
Yeah,
down for that because
let's.
we got Bronson Reed continuing in the Elimination Chamber match, but that's also continuing the story with Dolph Ziggler. What are we gonna see next Monday on? What other shot is Dolph's gonna get that Mustafa's gonna complain about, and or are they really gonna get to the deep down and gritty and get to face and see who see, okay, now you've been calling me out all these weeks. Now what do you got to back it up? Now let's say and start building this to WrestleMania. We got the time, so there's no rush, but it's a slow build. But let's do it.
Because what initially happened, right? Because Ziggler was supposed to tag with Mustafa Ali, but
Yeah, that's where
Ziggler
it
didn't
started.
want to tag.
They were supposed to go inside together, be a tag team in the tournament for the number one contenders, and then he decided, Dolph Ziggler decided to not take that chance. Instead, give me a chance against Solo Sikoa. Because of the way Solo had jumped those guys the week before. So that's
Right,
where Mustafa started getting pissed, and that's where he started going, okay, give me a chance. Then the next week you get another chance, and now it's like 4 weeks it's going on, where he keeps
right.
on getting opportunities and keeps on losing, while Mustafa's always left in the dust, I guess. So yeah, they've been definitely telling a story here. So hopefully it culminates in a big match because I think they could definitely pull it off. These two.
Yeah, give me that, and I feel like, yeah, I feel like that literally might be a WrestleMania thing. So I don't think it's going to be a one-off Raw match or something like that or whatever have you. I think, um, maybe make an elimination chamber thing, but I feel like you need to build it up a bit more, or maybe do like a best of seven kind of thing, which would lead up to WrestleMania. I'd kind of be down with that.
Wow.
These two guys can work, so
Yeah, they definitely
give me.
can. Yeah, they
So
definitely both
yeah,
can work. Yeah, so I could see maybe having a match at Elimination Chamber, but maybe you're right. Maybe not having it finished there, and maybe carrying it on to WrestleMania, having a combination climax type of match at WrestleMania would be great for these two guys. I completely agree. Um, so yeah, that's what they say. Oh no, some people are calling for the tag team. And I'm seeing in my notes here that I saw some people are calling for the tag team of Ziggler and Mustafa. I don't want that. Even though I think they could be a good tag team,
right.
I would rather maybe see a program between them two, and maybe with that brings the respect that they form a tag team
Yeah,
after that
yeah,
competition.
exactly. So I think that way you end up eliminating a bunch of weeks into doing a possibly great storyline, and then you make a new tag team out of it because
Yep,
Lord knows the WWE needs a tag team, so another tag team. So yeah,
yep,
definitely do the storyline first though, because you can already see
yes,
Mustafa Ali's arrogance and cockiness and
yeah.
hatred towards all the chances that Ziggler is getting. So I think that is the right story to tell at the moment. But then, yeah, after that's all said and done, everything is done. It's the last match. Whoever wins, whatever. Maybe Ziggler wins, and then Mustafa Ali ends up shaking his hand, and yeah,
Or having
and then
earning
they end
earned
up
his respect. Yeah, yeah,
earned his respect, kind of thing.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm
I think
definitely
that's the
all
better
down for
story
that.
to tell. I rather that story than having them team up right now and then having Mustafa turn on him during a tag team run. I think it would be
Right.
better them having a singles rivalry going on, and then with the mutual respect after having a few matches together, uh, and show that sign of respect. And why I think we're both good. We've had some good matches. I think we could go a long way in the tag team division, then forming a tag team. I think that would be a good way to tell the story between Mustafa and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so now we have Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes, which was our main event, which was a very very good match. Um,
Yeah.
maybe not a 5 star, but I would definitely put a 4 star, if not even maybe a 4.5 star. I would like to see this without no commercial interruptions.
Yeah, that's what kind of killed it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely hinders the quality of the match. But
for sure.
this match was good. You I guess it's what you expected from two guys like Cody and Finn in this circumstance. But man, did
I
they back
did,
it
but
up?
the fact that he's heel though, I felt like he did step off just a bit. So I would really love to see these guys as both like I don't know as faces, if you will, just for the mutual respect of everything they've kind of created. Because I don't know, I feel like
Hmm.
when Finn is heel, he ends up not doing nearly as everything as he would usually do, and obviously because he's a heel, so his move set does
Mm.
change a bit. But yeah, but no, I thought it was a great match. I was expecting worse, but I got a heck of a lot better than what I was expecting. So take that for as you may. Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot more story to tell there once Cody becomes champion or whatever. I
Yeah.
uh, I think I think Finn getting an opportunity would be good.
Yes, I think Finn can be one of those stepping stones during Rhodes' title reign. I think that would be a good story to tell. Definitely there. Uh, Now, to be fair, this match wasn't only focused on Finn and Cody. We also had
Right.
Edge involved in this with
True.
Rhea
Beth.
jumping on Edge and with Priest and Mysterio, and then what's her name, Beth, giving a spear to Rhea Ripley. So, do you think there's a future rivalry, maybe after Rhea wins the title at WrestleMania between Beth and Rhea?
I know. I kind of think that match might happen at Elimination
Uh,
Chamber.
oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So, that I have
Yeah.
like 2 weeks right now to build that up right now.
Yeah. It's enough time.
Yeah, yeah, it's enough time. I've seen it before there, but
I
yeah,
mean, because look, right? We also have Rhea mentioning that she's going to face Charlotte. So Rhea's not doing anything at Elimination
that's
Chamber.
true. That's true.
Neither is Charlotte.
It's true.
So that just makes complete sense there.
No,
Um,
you're right. You're completely right. I completely forgot that Rhea did mention in her segment
I
on
know
Raw
because
that
you didn't mention it on our recap.
yep, that she chose Charlotte. She's choosing Charlotte. So she's a Raw member choosing to fight the SmackDown champion.
SmackDown
So
Championship.
that's
Yeah.
that's an important part of the story here to tell. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think maybe it would probably more be of a story to tell here on at Elimination Chamber, but they don't have to get to it because there's 2 weeks left. Um, I
Right.
wanna I wanna see some story behind, not just throw this
Well,
match together. Right?
I mean, there's already a story behind it, though, right?
Yeah,
She ultimately
that's
was
true.
the one that, so they don't really need to tell much per se. Um, but, Rhea just has to go, oh, you keep getting involved in my business, yada, yada, yada. Well, yeah, you should have thought of that before you knocked me out unconscious with a steel chair. Now I'm
Hmm.
nothing but, now I'm nothing but your business, and I am going to completely tear you apart. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? And just to make it that much more interesting, Rhea, if you're so confident you're going to tear me apart, why don't you put your number one contendership on the line for
Yeah,
WrestleMania? And then just obviously, Beth isn't going to win there, but
well,
she does that, and yeah, so at least it gives it a little bit more of an extra edge, pun intended.
but I think that's a good way to put Rhea even more over. Have a
Yep.
sick banger with Beth and beat the Glamazon here. I think it's a perfect way to put her even more over than she is. So that was the that was the right choice here in this match. I think they told the story perfectly. They didn't take away too much from the match of Finn and Cody, but at the
No,
same
no, it's kind of
time,
more
you
towards
can
the end, I think. Anyways,
yeah,
so
it was
it
it was
works.
kind of more towards the end, and they still told the story continuing with Edge and Judgment Day. So I think that was a pretty successful Raw there in the terms of ratings. They really backed up what they did last week with the Raw 30.
Yep.
Really keeping it over 2 million viewers, and last week they had zero point 0.7 in the key demo, and this week they had 0.64. I think if I'm not mistaken, so or 0.62. It might be 0.62.
So
So
that
it's still,
number is what the average of how many people actually stayed on for the whole show within that
yeah,
hour, kind of thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's viewers 2.1, I think 2.14, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
for this week's Raw, and I think it was 0.62 in the key demo average for the three
Okay.
hours. So we
Okay.
would have to see if we'd have to see it separated, which should come out in the next few days, or if it didn't come out today, which we should see
Mhm.
separated by hour. But it's still backing up from last week, which before we hadn't seen over 2 million. Um, and it was a show that backed up that again. So I think they kept the
Well,
viewers
I
in.
mean, again, it's also a post Royal Rumble, so I think that does play into it as well. Um, Cody being back too. It'll be interesting to see if the same thing happens next week, though. I feel like that's when we'll really see, like,
Yeah,
okay, what's happening?
yeah. It obviously went down from last week, which is acceptable, expectable. Sorry, and now it's the show after Royal Rumble. So also you expect it to be higher than normal, and then next week you'd see, okay, can we maintain the pace over 2 million, or will we be going back down to 1.8, 1.85 something, which
Right.
wouldn't be drastic, but you want to keep it over 2 million, especially when you're coming up with TV negotiations soon, because we did hear
Right.
recently that Fox. It's something I forgot to mention in the breaking news, that Fox apparently, it's not that they're unhappy, but that they're losing type of money. So with the money they paid for the rights for SmackDown, which is a lot, they're
Right.
not making that money back with the publicity and the ad revenue
Yeah, they're apparently
from
losing
SmackDown.
like 50 million a year, I think it was, or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
some like stupid number like that. But we did mention this a while ago too, though. They ultimately overpaid for it, so
they definitely did.
it's their own kick in the ass. They paid like 5 times the amount that the U.S. network paid.
Yeah,
So Fox wants to be cocky and
thinking
money
because it was going to
hungry,
be
and
on network television that they were going to have that much more viewers. They do have more viewers, but not that much enough to compensate for what
yeah,
you're paying for it. So
for sure.
that might affect the TV deals going forward. So
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
if Fox doesn't want to pay that much money, probably you won't see it on NBC, you won't see it on ABC, you won't see it on CBS. So then you're gonna have to go back to USA, or maybe try to compete, and there's not much good to go after that.
Well, you might still see it
Because
on NBC. No, doesn't the
well, you
U.S.
never see.
doesn't NBC own the USA network?
No, yes, NBC owns USA, but I mean, you're gonna get what you mean SmackDown on NBC on USA.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Not
there's
SmackDown
definitely a
on USA.
possibility.
Heck, maybe even SmackDown on NBC.
Yep, I think that's a
You know what I mean?
possibility.
It's a
If Fox
Friday
tried it
night.
out,
Uh,
yeah. If
why
Fox tried
not?
it out, why wouldn't NBC try it out? Especially that they already have the wrestling on Peacock and on
Well,
USA.
I think they have like Dateline though on that day or something. That might not be good for SmackDown.
Yeah, that would be for SmackDown. Yeah, like ABC has
I think it's at
2020, right?
10 though.
They,
Or yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. Unless they move it, whatever, they can move it to like 10 o'clock right after SmackDown. Oh, next we have Dateline. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's those possibilities there, but definitely Fox have been a bit disappointed with the numbers, and doesn't look like they'll be renewing it. I don't think so. So, but
Right.
until then, they want to WWE want to make it as strong as possible, because then you're gonna have to sell those rights. So
Right.
even though even though Fox won't be keeping the rights, if you have 2.5, 2.6 every Friday night, it might make it interesting for another one of those companies to take a bite at it. So
Right.
that's what I was trying to say. And so yes, that was Raw. That was the main event at Raw. So let's jump to Dynamite, and what a Dynamite it was. Oh, um, what'd you think about Dynamite? I guess I don't see the same.
I No. I loved Dynamite. I thought the Daniel Bryan Thatcher match was as good as I thought it was going to be. I'm surprised that didn't end the night. But then when you have a banger with Samoa Joe and Darby Allin, um, no holds barred, no DQ match, just freaking fire. Um, I Samoa Joe was the one that bled first, and I guess he hit the table or something when
Yeah, yeah. I think it
Darby
was.
Allin torpedoed his way through death there by hitting the
Yeah,
table. But yeah, I thought that was a perfect no holds barred match. Usually I'm kind of cringy and crazy over what Darby does in the ring because I'm just scared it's going to be his last match and he's going to get paralyzed just because the guy goes ape shit, batshit crazy. I like the whole cutting the cords for the ring
yeah.
apron there
The
too. That
raping,
was cool. It
exposing the
took a
wood
bit
there.
long. It took a bit long, but I mean, the poor guy was rushing as fast as he possibly could.
Yeah,
Um, I think maybe they could have at least got someone else to maybe just do it a little bit beforehand, but I don't know how.
yeah.
Have someone under the
Maybe.
ring or something.
Yeah, because it feels like when it's been done before, when the wood has been exposed before, it feels like it's been done quicker than that. So maybe during the commercial break or something, somebody comes and helps make it quicker for him to do that because it did seem for an eternity there. It wasn't an eternity because it wasn't maybe 3 to 5 minutes, but
Not
it
even.
definitely seemed like an eternity while he was trying
Yeah,
to do it.
for sure.
But the
And
opening
you can
match, I think.
tell
Oh,
he
go ahead.
did work in the ring crew. You can tell he did work in the ring crew though. He knew
He knew the
he knew
weapons. He
the
knew to the
ring.
tools. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He did. It's true. He didn't know what to look for and where to cut and what to do. Open up the other side. Go cut that side. Okay, bring it back up. Then he knew he could
that's it.
fold the back part. Yeah, it was.
Well, that's how the
It's
performers
definitely.
start anyways, right? They usually start as
Yeah,
like ring crew to which makes sense. So
especially the indie guys. Yeah, especially the indie
yeah.
guys. Not the next in line guys, but
Right.
but definitely
Definitely not the
the
next
indie
line,
guys.
guys.
Yeah, but definitely the indie guys. But just the opening match, man. Hangman versus fucking Mox. That was fucking great, man.
Shit. That match I gotta fucking watch because I'm at work at 8. So I got a call and
Ah,
I missed like it was a long match because my call took forever. And then I'm like, oh, it's done. And then I look, I'm like, oh, I can watch, and then I get another call. Jesus.
no, that was
What
my
is that?
the house phone going on.
Oh fuck. Okay.
It's like you're getting a
I was
call.
like, this is not my ringtone. God damn. Yeah, Jesus.
But yeah, man. If you missed that match, you definitely got to go back and watch it because
Gotta
lariats
rewatch it.
lariats galore. Uh,
Okay.
a lot of close calls where you're like, oh my god, that looks like you hit him straight in the head there. But it was back and forth going on, even after the match. After he gets the win, Mox gets the win, but Mox seems to be the most damaged from the match, and
Okay.
then they seem like they're still the Claudio comes out, Wheeler Yuta comes out, kind of like to protect Mox from Hangman because Hangman seems fresh. Then they start pushing each other. Hangman starts doing some push-ups, saying, I still got the energy. You seem like you're dead." It was
Oh
it,
shit.
it felt like a bit of a shoot there, knowing that it's probably not, but it felt like they were trying to huff and puff each other, uh, um, like trying to outdo each other there at a certain
I mean,
point.
it's possible. I think it's that might be possible though. I don't think it's out of like hate or
No,
you know
no,
what I mean,
exactly.
or
It's just a
cockiness or
competitive
anything like
spirit.
that.
Yeah,
It's just a competitive spirit, like, oh, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's and Moxley
it was
loves
good.
that
So,
shit. So,
oh yeah, oh yeah. So
so
I think we haven't seen the last of Hangman Page versus John. Um,
I
well,
mean, I don't
obviously now we
mind, but I
have.
feel like the story's stale too at the same time. Like I don't care anymore. Like this is great. I love when you guys wrestle. It is a good match, but I don't care about the story you're necessarily telling right now. Like you kind of done did everything. But
Because
I
there's
guess
no
they don't know
title
what to
behind
do.
it. Yeah, I guess
Um,
because there's no title behind it, and because they're not really really making it like on a weekly basis where they have promos backing up and making it personal,
right,
and they don't really have that, or they really have left it go the last 2 3 weeks. So it kind
right.
of diminishes a bit of a bit of what we're expecting from these two, but the match is always pulled through. And this was definitely, I think, it was probably their best match up to now between the two. So
Oh damn. Okay, so I really gotta go watch it. All right,
yeah, yeah, it was
that's fair.
good. Um, Brian Cage versus Konosku Takashita. Um, that was it was actually a better match than I expected, and I think
Yeah.
Konosuke here had I think they're he's ready for a push here from AEW, and it was a nice match back and forth by the Machine Brian Cage, and coming out on top with Konosuke Takeshita. Was pretty good, and I
Well,
think we're
and I mean, he
next week
is
we see
getting
MJF.
exactly. So he is kind of getting a push there. I think, and he got pushed really nicely as well. I think because I don't think it's for the title. So I think you're actually
No,
just
it's
gonna
an
get,
eliminator match, what they call him,
which means what?
which means if he wins, then he has a title shot.
Oh snap. Okay. Um. Hmm. Because
Yeah,
I was
that's what they're.
saying, like, so I mean, maybe not win, but maybe he's at the point of winning and MJF cheats somehow. But I think for the most part, he's going to get the best of MJF, and then take a shit up is gonna lose,
Yeah,
but in some stupid fashion, MJF fashion, with what's it called? Maybe since he's doing a little thing with Andrade's boys there, I forgot what they're called.
Roosh,
Um, Roosh,
Roosh.
that's it. Maybe they'll somehow get involved and attack. I don't want to say Takeshita anymore. I want to use his name, Takashita, right?
Yeah, Takashita. Yeah,
Takashita. Okay.
Kinosuke
Yeah,
Takashita.
Kimosuke Takashita. Fair enough. Yeah, no. But Brian Cage, a lot of people are surprised that Brian Cage can go with these more skinnier, flippier guys. But Brian Cage can go, man. I especially still really liked, just like that match between Cage and Willow Mack. Granted, Willow Mack's not a flippy guy, but um,
Yeah, he can do
I
those
think
spots
we're
too.
under. Yeah, we're underestimating what Cage can do in the ring because a lot of people are like, oh wow, this match with Cage was good. I'm like, guys, Cage can go. Cage is
Yep.
really good. He has to have someone to compliment him in the ring, but like Brian Cage can go. He can sell. He can thing. He just has to have someone with great chemistry to pull that off. And
Brian,
this match was fun.
yeah, Brian Cage is not Batista. Brian Cage
Right.
can is a worker. Like, he's a professional wrestler. He can go. Like, he can go. He can pull. He can take the moves that you're giving
Brian
to him.
Cage is
So
like Keith Lee. You know what I mean? But
yep,
muscular
yep,
and skinnier a tad.
yep,
You know what I mean?
yep, yep,
So,
yep. That was that's a
which I have
good
no idea what
comparison.
they're doing with Keith Lee there, but
No, we haven't seen. We saw Swerve last night with the
right.
mogul uh, mogul. What are they? Mogul something. Anyways, now
Mogul
I'm
talents or
for
something.
yeah.
Mogul,
I'm forgetting their name there, but we
Mogul
saw that there.
Elite, Mogul. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm,
I'll look it up.
yeah, it's mogul something agency. It's not, but it's around there. So it's a mogul something. And you saw that he's continuing on. He's being on
Mogul
TV, but we haven't
affiliates.
seen mogul affiliates. That's exactly what it is. Mogul
Okay.
affiliates. Um, we've seen that he's continuing to be on TV, but we haven't seen Keith Lee. So I guess maybe well, not a repackage, but maybe a different feud. So trying to get him involved into a different feud, trying to find what it is. We're gonna find something for Keith Lee. I guess that's what Tony Khan is thinking about.
Possible.
And
Yep.
what we were talking about last week, we're like, we're gonna see Red Velvet against Jade Cargill. Does she really have a chance? Well, we already knew what the answer to that question was, that she had absolutely no chance.
Well, at the same time, it was a fun match. This is probably one of the better Jade matches I've seen that actually had somewhat of a storyline driven into it. I feel where it actually added to the matchup with the whole
Well, yes, there's
I
definitely a
think it was the
storyline there.
referee got knocked. Well, the storyline between them and her just not being part of the group because it was Red Velvet that was not part of the group anymore, right?
Yeah, she wasn't part of the group. She had a rivalry, and then she came into the baddies, and now the
Right.
recently she was moving away from them, and now she was really out of it.
Right. So then, but there was something there, I think, where she had her down for like 4, but the referee was out, and like I don't
Yes,
know.
yes,
This is the first moment, in my opinion, where I actually see there's a story being told in the ring, and it made it that much more interesting for me. Um, and oh my god,
but she
Jade's
definitely
whole
doesn't.
like power bomb picked her up into the jaded whatever you call it was crazy.
Yeah, to her finishing move. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
definitely see that Red Velvet's not the one that would take away the belt
No.
from Jade, which makes her now 50-0. So props to
Right.
her.
Yep. Yep.
50-0, undefeated, 50-0, TBS champion. I guess we still haven't found somebody that can take it away from her. And some people are comparing her to, oh, you need to have she's like Roman Reigns, and you need to find the next star to take away that title. Like, I
I wouldn't go that
understand
far.
exactly. I would definitely not go that far. I understand what you want to tell a story of somebody somebody good that's going to take the belt away, but definitely not the next big star that you're going to find John Cena or whatever, or Charlotte or Becky that you're going to form to take away the title. No, I think eventually you're going to have to take away the title from her so she can evolve.
Exactly.
So
That's it. Like she's done everything already, or whatever have
yeah,
you. It will be a star in that regard of maybe someone we're not thinking, like maybe a Bad Bunny, Ty Conti, um, someone who isn't already a name. Like it won't be a Ruby or a
I still think
Brit or
Brit should be the one to take it away from her. I think she's the only one with the credibility in that women's locker room to take that belt away from Jade,
yeah.
and
Well,
she'd
I
be the
mean that's
perfect baby
fair.
face to do it.
She still seems like she's kind of a heel though. When she was all mad at Ruby in the backstage area.
Well, because she doesn't trust her. Because you're
Right.
one of them. She says, right? You're one of them. You're
Right.
not an original. Yeah, you seem like you want to defend the originals, but okay, thank you for asking me if I'm okay. I'm okay, but I don't trust you yet.
Mhm.
I guess they're telling a story there, and I guess it's gonna
Right.
end up with a triple with not a trios match, but a six man tag match. Where I think they're going to
Mhm.
be involved, and maybe I think there's a story to tell there. But you definitely see that the heels here are Tony and Soraya
Right.
in this thing. So and Britt, you saw the turn, but Jamie's just becoming a face just by being champion and by being there. She hasn't really changed in a way that you could notice
Right.
changes. Okay, now she's a good guy or a bad guy, but you feel it like under the circumstances she's becoming a face. So now she's facing who's she facing this week on Rampage? Um, she came and challenged her yesterday on Dynamite. I forget
Oh
who's
snap.
facing Jamie Hayter. She accepted. Oh, it was bad. Not Bad Bunny because that's the rapper, but it's Bunny. The
It's just the bunny. Yeah, the bunny.
yeah, okay, the Bunny. That's right. So yeah, who she's facing
Oh
on
Jesus.
Rampage.
Oh. Yeah, I will just say you're right because I went to the wrong website. But yeah, that makes sense. I think it would be the
Yeah, because they
bunny.
agreed to the was during Dynamite where what's her name Renee Paquette was doing the interviews. Thank you for agreeing with for no violence, and there was Bad Bunny basically challenging bad, and I said it again. The Bunny challenging Jamie Hayter for the title there. So yeah, so Jamie Hayter is kind of on the face side now with Britt and everybody else, which is Soraya and Tony on the Brit side, and now the Bunny here on the Jamie side are all the heels. So it makes perfect sense.
Makes sense. Yeah. Oh, that works.
So yeah,
Uh,
so that was the girls here. Then we had okay. Then we had the Acclaimed versus those guys, bro. What did they come dressed in? I guess the freestyle was pretty accurate here. Um, it was
I
really
missed that too. I was still at work. Damn it.
Yeah, the Acclaimed versus those jabronis. Well, those jobbers, I guess it was. So basically, it was just to advance. The Acclaimed got a quick win here, and it was
Okay.
just to advance the storyline with the guns, with the Ass
Okay.
Boys, which prefer to be called the Gun Boys now. Really don't like the Ass Boys gimmick, and
That's fair.
basically face to face, asking for a title shot again, and the
I
Acclaimed
don't get
saying
how
no,
this
no.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, no, 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 no. And basically, Billy Gunn fed up, says, okay, you got the match. If you really think you're men, you want to, well, okay.
Whoa,
He
whoa, whoa,
left the
whoa, whoa,
ring.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yes,
whoa,
yes,
whoa. He
yes. Okay,
left
let
the
me recap.
ring, said you
He
guys
left
are
the
like
ring.
children. Yeah.
Like he called him. So why don't you go down and look down the bottom of a pill bottle that was his son's head, and made him come back, made him look at him in the face. He goes, "You really think you're the man right now? You really think you've man up and you're matured enough? So okay, here's
Mhm.
the match. Your match is done." Basically, and the Acclaimed look a bit surprised there. So
Like,
I think
okay.
this is all a scheme from Billy to make his kids champion. So it was all work since the beginning with the
From
daddy
the
ass
get go.
shit.
I think that's the perfect way to go about it. Yeah, and then
Mhm.
thus that's gonna make the gun club there a lot more bigger and powerful. So I'd be
Yeah,
down with that.
maybe not win because I don't know if they're champion tag team championship material. But maybe that's the
I
story you need
mean,
to tell
everybody
with
loves
the
the
with
acclaimed. Yeah, maybe just
yes,
do it.
maybe just do it because that's gonna create a lot of heat, and I think that could give them a lot of heat. Because I know we in AEW we like to give always uh the props to the faces, but at some point you need some top heels too with a lot of heat so you could build
Right,
the top faces. So I think the acclaimed are getting less and less responses that you were used to at the beginning of their run, and now I
right.
think it's the time to get a big time heat before they completely lose their popularity, and
Popularity. Yep.
that yeah, before they lose their popularity, you get a team like the Guns to get the heat and win them over with a turn from Billy. I think is a good story also being told there if you do it that way. So I think I'm good with the Guns, even though I don't like them and I think they're fresh. I think they're good on the mic. I think they could pull it through in the ring. They just gotta do it right. They just gotta it's gotta be
Right.
well booked and done right. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
okay.
not remembering them anything with great matches in the ring. So,
Well, FTR was an
that
okay match.
right,
FTR was an okay match. Maybe not their prior match with the acclaimed. Maybe not as much, but their FTR match was definitely good, and I think they're better they're being than they're showing. I think so. Maybe
okay,
this next title match next week with the acclaim maybe is where we see them outshine a bit and step out of their shell a bit. Well, hopefully at least.
right.
Um, yeah, so that's the acclaim. Then Brian Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher. Um, I think that definitely delivered on the hype that we were talking about last week. I think I have no complaints about that match.
An absolute 5-star, like pure wrestling, amazing match. You just can't. I don't know. Like
Yep.
I would maybe like to see an actual storyline eventually between those two, just so I can have just so I can have a little bit of extra to like it even more because I love my storylines. That's the problem when you were growing up with WWE. You you get so enthused with the storylines that really also what makes a match too. Great match. But I would just love a storyline out of that. I don't think we're necessarily going to see one, but I do hope they sign Thatcher though, because
Yes,
you give me Thatcher and someone else, I'm down for. You know what I
I
mean? Like
think
he's just great. He's
I
Daniel
think
Bryan
definitely.
2.0. Give me Thatcher Garcia. Let's
Uh,
go. You know, like
well, yeah, there's some great matches to be had there with Thatcher. So I definitely think it
uh,
would be a great asset to Tony Khan here. Uh, excuse me, better than many of the people he has on the roster right now. So
yep.
I definitely agree with that. Thatcher, that was a great match, man. Back and forth. I think they pulled on. I don't know if they've wrestled before. I don't think so. With all the years that Daniel was that I mean Brian was in WWE. So I don't know if
Right.
they had the time to fight before in the Indies, but this was fucking gold, man. And they went back and forth. I loved it. Timmy Thatcher with that broken tooth that he had in NXT just makes his character even better. Um, when he's doing the submissions, especially um, they call him the specialist of the Fumora arm lock, not arm lock,
Armbar.
armbar. Sorry, and that's he is one of the best because when he's pulling that arm, you see him grinding with his
Mhm.
face. It's just great, and it's just what you want to see, the emotion you want to see from a wrestling match. So yeah, that was great, man. That was great. I don't know if I would go as far as you would give it a 5 star, but I would definitely give it a 4.5. No doubt in my mind that I'm comfortable giving it a 4.5. I don't know how Uncle Dave measured it in his wicked rating system, but I definitely give it a 4.5. Yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It could have definitely been a main event if it
Yeah,
if it
it
had to.
definitely could have.
And then it brings us to the real main event,
Mm.
Darby and fucking Samoa Joe, man. I know we talked a bit about it before at the beginning of the recap of Dynamite, but man, they both went through. They both went to it to the max. Um, are you a bit surprised of the outcome, though, of the finish?
Yeah. I wasn't sure what story they were trying to tell there exactly. I'm like, okay, was Wardlow like injured or something, and that's why you didn't want to continue that feud to go on? Um, wasn't really sure what this did for Darby exactly. Like, I don't know what story was to be told there. Um, yeah. So I
I think
just don't
this.
get it. I don't understand.
I think this is might be the beginning, or not the beginning, but the second phase in the Harvey. My God, um, of the
You leave
Darby.
Harvey Weinstein out of this.
Yes, of the Darby heel turn. I think this is just another step
Okay.
in that heel turn that we need to get to, right? Because he's reached his max right now. So if you want to get him to a bigger star than he is, then you got to we need to see him as a heel. How bad can you be? You know, that's what we want to see from Darby. How much of a asshole dick can you be? You want to be dark? Show us how dark you can be. That's what we want to see from Darby right now, and that's why it fits the narrative of Samoa Joe being the king.
Mhm.
What did you call himself? The king of TV, right? King of
Yeah,
television.
King of Television.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it fits all into that narrative, and you bring back Wardlow into the picture, so it continues that rivalry while you could continue having the Darby transformation happen simultaneously. So I was really this match was back and forth. Some apron moves there. I was scared, not scared, but like I got some like, ooh, did he get hurt there? Some moves there on the apron that Samoa Joe put Darby through on that hard apron. Was
Right.
but man, they went through the the thumbtacks in the shirt. That was a bit disappointing, maybe when he was trying to put
Mm.
the sweater with the thumbtacks to try to give the coffin drop, so he
The
wasn't
coffin
able. So he
drop.
just put it around. So he just put it around his neck, and he
So
kind of fell.
essentially didn't do much. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so essentially didn't do much. Then he put it in his mouth, gave the thing, and the he gave the brain buster, which was a crazy from the top rope. Not the buster, the muscle buster,
The muscle
which is
buster. That's it.
yeah, the muscle buster, which is Samoa Joe's move from the top rope onto the thumbtacks. And I thought he broke his neck there. I always, every time he does
Mhm.
that muscle buster, it always brings me to Tyson Kidd. Every time I'm
Right.
scared, you know. So, and I know it wasn't at all. It wasn't Samoa Joe's fault. It was a bad positioning from TJ there. That it wasn't
Right.
really the muscle buster that. But every time I see it, like I get scared. Uh, and especially coming from the top rope onto thumbtacks, yeah, I'll get
Yeah.
to be even a bit more scared. But that main event came through. At some point, fuck, I would have put the Mox versus Page as a main event, or I would have put Daniel Bryant against the one we just talked about before as a main event. But I think this one was came
I
through
think
and
yeah, I
delivered
think
as a
this
main
one
event.
was exactly. This was the smart choice. It was for a title after all, so you're making your titles a little bit more prestigious. Um, yeah, no, I crazy match, crazy match. I think you're maybe right with that. But I figured maybe we might see Sting in some way, shape, or form. Maybe to
Part of that
unintentionally
story.
cause unintentionally cause Darby the loss or something along those lines, but nothing like that. Um,
Because I think Sting can be part of the story where the transformation of Darby into a heel. Maybe I think Sting actually. Let me rephrase that. I think Sting should definitely be part of that story of the
okay.
transformation of
Yeah.
Darby here. So maybe there's a story to tell in the next few weeks with Darby there and Sting.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be. I don't know if we're going to get anything between them for Revolution. Revolution is coming up. I think it's only in March, actually. So we have like a month.
I think it's the first
We
week
have
of March. Yes.
yeah, first week of March, the 5th. So we have a month there. So I guess there's still enough time to tell a Darby Sting story. But I think, yeah,
Because
you
like we
might be
said,
right.
I don't think we'll see a one-on-one match because I don't know if Sting maybe if that's the way Sting wants to go out, like one last match and have
Yeah,
a
just one
one-on-one,
last
maybe
match
that's
and
the
that's it.
case. But I don't know if it would be good. You have a sick unless it's a total beatdown by Sting. Like unless it's a
Right.
total beatdown by Sting and Sting just decimates and uh, decimates Darby into all kinds of spots, then okay, maybe there's a way to do it there. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But this is really interesting for me to watch uh, how they do it, if they do it, but how they turn Darby into a heel. Because there's many ways to do it. I think it could be a big spot for AEW to turn him into a heel. I think it could be a top heel in the company.
Top heel in the company. Oof. Just fuck MJF, huh? Just forget about what he's talking
No,
about.
no, no, no. I mean, he could be a top heel.
Top.
He
Okay,
could be
not the top
yeah,
heel. Okay, my bad.
not
My
the
bad.
top
My
heel.
bad.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I
Um,
still don't think Darby is world championship material. But he definitely can be one of the top heels in the mid card. Like for TNT titles, he's already a three, if not four-time champion. I think three.
I
TNT.
think three.
So yeah, I think three. So I think having another run, even as a top heel, he can do it. But I don't see Darby as a credible AEW champion, at least not yet.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But great match. Great fucking match. I was not
Yeah, yeah,
expecting it
great
to be
match,
that
great
good.
match.
Wardlow's back in the picture now too. Wardlow ended up coming out, beat the shit out of Samoa Joe. Was about to do his powerbomb symphony, but Samoa Joe got out of the ring. So it looks
Yeah,
like they're still gonna continue that there, and I think we're probably gonna get Joe. Joe did Joe beat Wardlow for it? No, Wardlow was never champion, right?
no, no, boy, Joe beat Wardlow, and then Darby
That's
beat
it.
Joe.
And then Darby beat Joe. Okay, that's it. So
Yeah.
Wardlow was champion. So
Mm.
I don't know. Like
I think
Wardlow
this is
doesn't need
Wardlow
it
taking
either.
back the TNT, and maybe Joe maybe transitioning over. Now we're gonna start seeing the ROH weekly shows starting soon, and
Okay.
the pay per view. So I think we might see a transition to Joe being just on ROH. I think because I think Joe's done uh, way more than enough um, to try to promote both AW and ROH, and I think he's just at an
Mhm.
age where he doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be wrestling every week. So let's
Well,
say
that's why I was so
our
surprised that he won, though. You know what I mean? Like,
because I think
I'm like,
that's a segue for Wardlow to take back the title. I think that's the segue there. So you take back the title. He wins in a match versus Samoa, and then Samoa goes back into ROH and basically
to
does the
ROH
because I
territory.
think I think they have the formula of the tapings, right? So they won't be live every week. So which they'll be taping like 4 or 5 episodes at a time, and then having their weekly shows going taped on YouTube, and then having their pay per views. So it's less of a workload for an older man. Well, not older like he's an old man, but I mean for an older performer like Samoa Joe.
Mhm. Okay, that's fair.
I think that
That's
fits
fair.
better because we know Samoa Joe has been injured in the last few years, um, more times than none, and maybe they want to. That's which would be the safer thing for Samoa here.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely that definitely makes sense then. I just, I don't know. I don't know what the TNT does for Wardlow at this rate. He's
Absolutely nothing. That's what it does.
that's it. So,
I just, I'm
I
just,
don't
I'm
know.
just saying what I think they're going, but I don't think Wardlow does anything for the TNT. I
Unless
think
you get
nobody's
him to
that.
grab a bunch of titles, you get him to grab the TNT, you get him to grab the Atlantic, and then
Oh,
honestly, you just do an MJF
yeah,
versus Wardlow, and you can still have
yes,
that whole feud
and
continue
that's
again.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay, if you do it that way, that was very well quick thinking there because that's very good there. Yes, you have him win the TNT, win the All Atlantic, and then after starts challenging MJF, which is it finishes the story of them two, right? Which was started
Well,
off.
that's it. Because MJF, well, technically, I guess they already kind of finished, but they could always rehash it. Because MJF ended
I
up
don't know.
losing. No, well, didn't MJF end up losing? Remember that whole scenario where he didn't want to what was it? Remember he was leaving the company for like 3 months or something, and it was kind of just a botched kind of. He just ended up dominating MJF for the majority of the match. MJF went outside the ring for a bit. This was a thing. Like they finished their feud, but they can always certainly rehash it since MJF's the world champion, and he'll
No,
be like, you
obviously he
know
gave
what?
him he lost so he could get the contract. Obviously that happened.
Right.
But I don't know in what I don't remember exactly in what case that does that could that determine that it was the end of that rivalry like one's
Oh,
the champion now.
well, I mean, I already got what I want, though. I already got the championship. I am no longer. I already
And now I'm
got the contract.
and
I'm no
now
longer under your belt, and you can't control me. That's what he
and
got.
now I'm about to take away your title, right? So now you
Yeah, yeah.
released me, I beat you. You released me from my contract with you, and now I did all this journey where I won the TNT, I won the All Atlantic. I'm a multiple
Mhm.
champion here in AEW, and I'm coming to take away your title from you, which is the most thing that you love and that you want to use as leverage for the bid of 2024, right? And I'm
Right.
here to take that away from you. That would be a great story also.
Yeah, that
It
could
would
certainly work.
it would go around the circle, bang, back to, long term storytelling there perfectly. So
Yeah,
that's pretty that's good, some good booking by WTN here. We're always here when
we're pretty
when you
good.
need Tony
Yeah,
Tony, so
Tony Trips, guys, we're filled with
let us know,
ideas.
man.
You don't even have to give us like writer money. You can give us like 20 grand
No,
a year. I'd be happy with. Give us 20 grand a year.
just
No,
just
I'm
sponsor our
okay.
podcast. We'll be good.
Yeah, I meant 20 grand a year. I mean,
Why not? I'll take the
why
22.
not? Well, what's 20 grand for you guys for
Yeah,
these genius booking ideas? What's 20
yeah,
grand? And allow us to work our regular job too, because you know what?
exactly,
That's why we're only
exactly,
asking for 20. We're not
exactly.
asking 100K. I'm not Brian. What's his name? Brian Millward Smarts. Anyways, the guy who's like co-writing for The Rock now, and he was The Rock's writer.
Yes.
Forgot his name.
Oh,
Yeah, just bad joke. Forgot his name, so it didn't work out. With that, there was something I was going to mention. So AEW is also is now doing live shows, so that is a thing that is happening. We saw them announce the House Club or something like that.
oh,
Uh,
are they really?
yeah, so they're doing house shows now. That was part of one of their announcements. Um, so that's cool. This would definitely give Tony Khan another opportunities to try and figure out a few things, dish out a few other stars, see what the fans like in different areas and territories. So I think that is great for
Yeah.
AE Dubs. Along with that, they also Bloomberg had mentioned that they potentially might be looking for a streaming service for AEW. Um, and that most likely would be what do you call it?
HBO Max.
HBO Max, which I guess would make sense. But there was a source within the company that that's kind of what was it. Warner Brothers Discovery. There, we're really happy with the. Tony Khan got a little bit more revenue because he made, I think it was like 100 million revenue from
Okay.
2022 or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so a success in that regard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of just your breaking news with AEW as well, since we're on the topic of AEW. So Rampage looks to be interesting. You also got Swerve versus Brian Pillman Jr., which I don't understand necessarily.
Well, you got a sick trios match, right? You got the
No,
Elite
it's
versus
just that
yeah,
match looks
tomorrow
awesome. Yeah.
have
The
the
Elite
Elite
versus
versus
Matt Hardy.
yes,
I know, right?
Matt Hardy, Ethan
Matt Hardy,
Page,
Ethan Page,
and
and Isaiah Swerve or something. I think it's Isaiah.
no, I yes, that's it. The guy from Private Party, yes. The
Yeah.
no, not Mark, the other one, yes, exactly. As Isaiah. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, that seems
I
that
didn't
seems
know we
cool.
were playing semantics here. My bad.
No, no, I'm sorry. I was just confused when you were saying. I was still not getting it. I'm like, oh,
I'm just
who's that?
fucking with you, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, that's right. But I don't know if that's for a title match because on Rampage I mean on Dynamite they're having a match versus the other trios because that's where they announced the match next Wednesday, and that's when Ethan Page and Stokely came on and they challenged them for a match on Rampage. Oh, you guys don't have a match this week. Guys, you guys would have a match every week. You guys say you're defending champs. So, okay, why don't you have a match with us on Rampage? But they had just announced a match for next week's Dynamite, which maybe if you just look, I don't know, on my phone.
No Dynamite. Okay, so hold on.
Yeah, Dynamite
AEW
next week is the Elite.
Dynamite. I don't think you're thinking of the right people though. 2-1 full match card. Wrestling 118. There you go. Oh no, that's for this one. Did we Dynamite preview the card for Wednesday's show?
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
The Elite secured 2 new AEW World Trios matches on Dynamite, which is they will be here we go, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. It's our first ever 2-time Trios champions, the Elite. Matt said. So Top Flight. Oh yeah, that's it. So it's next week. It's Top Flight with what's his name, Aaron Fox. That's right.
You sure it's Aaron Fox?
I think
I'm going semantics here now. Aaron does not sound legit.
It definitely starts with A, and his family name is definitely Fox.
Yes,
AR Fox. AR Fox.
AR Fox. Okay, let's.
Not Aaron, but AR Fox. That's right, AR Fox.
Oh, snap.
That's it. So the elite are having two. So we're gonna have two trios matches, one tomorrow, one next week on Dynamite. Tomorrow against
Right.
Man Hardy, Ethan Page, and the other member of the Private Party, and then we're gonna have Top Flight and AR Fox, which that match should be fucking fire.
That's
With
going to be
Dirty
fucking
Bear.
good. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Young Bucks, when the Young Bucks just fought against Top Flight like that, it was fucking baller.
yeah,
So
yeah. That was a great
at
match.
Kenny
So imagine those
Omega
three. Yeah,
and
add
AR, like,
AR
let's
Fox.
fucking
Yeah,
go.
great.
Let's do it.
Fucking good, man. Let's do it. Yeah. Another great match. A great week coming up. Almost. What's the next pay per view? So I guess our next pay per view would be
Well,
Elimination Chamber.
technically NXT
Oh no,
Vengeance
NXT. You're
is
right.
this Saturday.
Vengeance this Saturday. Okay, I'll make an effort to try to look it
This
up.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe Me Too, if nothing's going on there too as well. Maybe check that out. And then then after that, of course, we got Chamber as that's February 17th. No, February 18th, and
18th. Yeah.
SmackDown. They're still
17th to
here.
SmackDown. Yeah.
So I'm going to both. I had actually just got
You're going to
my
both.
autograph. Yeah, I'm going to both. So I
Wow.
actually got my autograph T-shirt that we do on the other one. So it's like a piece
Oh.
of paper and it's an autograph thing. It's a little small. I thought the autograph part was going to be a bit bigger, but apparently it works good for writers to mark on it.
Oh fuck.
So yeah,
Nice.
I'm excited for that. Very
With
nice.
the black Sharpie, they'll be able to sign your shirt. That's cool, man.
Exactly. So that's pretty cool. And when my other wrestling podcast has it there, and they said the wrestlers really like it. Like it's a bit creative, and it marks nice because the material is kind of
Yeah.
obviously a little rougher
The
here.
vinyl, yeah.
So it marks the vinyl. So
Nice.
it's going to be very nice. I'm very excited.
Very nice. Wake up. Very nice.
Fucking Borat. God damn.
All right, so that's it, bro.
and
So we just did
that's
the
it.
recap. We went through the breaking news.
We did.
Before anything here, I would just like to thank everybody that showed up to the Rumble Bash. Really had
Oh,
a fucking great time.
yeah, you
With
did.
every one of you guys. It was great. The house really appreciated too. The community center really had a good night. It was they appreciated our
They were
presence.
even in on the wrestling
And
pool, so that was great.
yeah, they even were in on the wrestling pool. Maybe the little 20 minutes where the electricity went out there, we were a bit all around my friend's phone there, which him he still had access to his data, and we were live
That's
on his phone.
crazy.
But then it came back after 20 minutes, and everything was
Yeah.
good. I really want to thank everybody for showing up and for being
Oh,
supporters of Wrestling Talk Now. You guys are the best. To your Steves, to Miguel's, to the Nelsons, to the Mikes, to the Bryans. Thank you very much. Very well appreciated. And hopefully we'll be trying to doing something soon. Probably we're thinking about maybe the Rumble Bash being an annual thing because I think that's
that'd be
the
cool.
one where it works out the most. But maybe we'll start planning another event, maybe just to get together and have fun and watch the pay-per-views again together. So once again, thank you very much, WTN, in the name of me, JLB, and Big Red. We really appreciate you guys coming out. It was really appreciative, and thank you once again. So that's it. Take us home, Jay.
And and for the hospitality of the community
Yes,
center as well. That was dope. That was awesome.
of course.
Great food, and great company. So thank you guys once again. And with that all being said, thank you guys also for watching tonight's podcast or listening it to wherever you may be. What a week. What a week. Royal Rumble is one and done. Next up is Elimination Chamber, and it is in Montreal. So if you haven't went and splurged a bunch of money on Madonna tickets for Montreal, maybe you should probably splurge it on Elimination Chamber because it's probably going to be 10 times a tenth of the price of a Madonna ticket. So probably that might be a better bet there. And for all the latest breaking news, you can, of course, reach us at WTN Wrestling on all the social medias, unless it's on Twitch, where it's WTN_Wrestling Talk Now. And you can follow Kid Crazy at
You can follow me on Facebook at Michael Costa or Twitter Saltita_Costa. And for everything else wrestling, just right here on WTN Wrestling or on Twitch, WTN Wrestling Talk Now _Wrestling Talk Now.
Boom. And that is it. That is all. Thank you guys once again. So we will see you next week, probably to run you down a little NXT Vengeance, see what went on there, and bring you all the latest and breaking news on our socials. So until next time, ciao for now. Nope, not working. Okay. Gotta love when that doesn't work properly. Ciao for now, boys. Until next time.
Peace.